But ladies and gentlemen, the issues are totally different. Inflation was not as important. Inflation's always going to be an issue. It was not nearly as important an issue in 2016 and 2020. The border, always an issue, but not nearly as severe a problem. Elections are issues-based and coalitions-based. Nothing's the same. So if you're Thiessen or others suggesting somehow that if Trump doesn't get a couple of, Haley voters, that he's going to lose because it's going to be the same margin as 2016 and 2020, this isn't 2016 or 2020. I want you to listen just quickly. Here's Janet Yellen. The inflation issue is so bad that the Treasury Secretary now, they don't even know how to talk about it anymore. Inflation is going up again. It went up to 3.2 from 3.1, and core jumped to 3.8. Those are serious numbers. The inflation target is 2%. That's a big number. Listen to Yellen. Oh, yeah, we're doing everything. The inflation's going down. No, it's not. Take a look.
If you go back and look at month over month, December, January, and February, it showed an increase of inflation. Is inflation coming back?
Well, look, inflation is down almost 2/3 from the high it reached in 2022. And the trend is clearly a favorable one. I wouldn't expect this to be a smooth path month to month, but the trend is clearly favorable.
In case you wonder, again, this goes about the CIA of January 6th. Yeah, I got that. Just stay tuned. I'm not teasing stuff unnecessarily. I got a lot to get to. As I said, I had a moment last night, so I'm trying to deal with a lot of needed stuff. This is a different election. Janet Yellen is not telling you the truth. Inflation is not going down, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at the number that topped yesterday, or the day before, excuse me. It's going up. It was 3.1. It's now 3.2. By my math, Joe, that's higher. It's going in the wrong direction. Here, I want to watch a segment. I've never seen a segment so accurately nail the inflation problem as it. People see this every single day. This is a Fox segment. I think it's Brian Brendan. And he just puts raw numbers up. Here's what you're going to pay for sugar, for eggs. Ladies and gentlemen, these are double-digit increases. People are feeling this. This is a different election. People need to get their heads out of their butts. It's not 2016 or 2020. Here, watch this.
Economy on the brink, but we're making great progress on inflation. So we thought, well, let's just look at some of the numbers and figure out where we were and where we are now. Start with your primary residence, whether you're renting your house or owning your home. You're up 20% since Biden took office. That's like a mortgage payment that goes up $700 a month, Ashley. So we're talking real money there. Now, if you've got any money left over to eat away, your costs to go eat out are 21%. I took the family out for lunch this weekend. I had to try to figure out which kid ordered caviar, Ashley, because I was like, how did this bill get so high? Food at home is not much better. It's up 21% as well. So whether you're out or at home, you're paying a lot. Now, let's say you want to make yourself a chicken sandwich, Ashley. Your chicken costs are up 21%, actually 26%. Sorry, it's even worse than that since Biden took office. You're going to put it on some bread. Your bread costs are up 30% since Biden took office. And that probably is the kind of food you're eating, Ashley. But for those of us with a sweet tooth, let's talk sugar and butter. Sugar costs up 44%. Butter up 27%.
Folks, that's real. Inflation, someone just put in the chat. Amazing, we have one person here. And all these. Everybody put a Y in the chat. Let's just see. Because if it's more than one Y, I think we broke the number. But that's okay, because you're also here and up. Folks, inflation compounds. It's very simple mathematics. If you have a 10% increase on a $100 bill and you're paying $110, and then you tack 10% on that, and you're paying $121, this goes up and compounds. You never go back to the $100. So you're all here. You have more than one person. All right, moving on. Folks, the border problem. The border problem is just as bad. Listen to me. This is not 2016 and 2020. Take off the glasses to these political analysts on mainstream cable news. You've got this all wrong. The Trump coalition is different, and the issues are different. This was a screenshot from Fox News. Look at this number. Illegal Venezuelan migrants. 335,000 encounters. You know the suspect in the bludgeoning murder case in Georgia was Venezuelan. 335,000 encounters. 834 deportations. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't seem like a lot. The issues are totally different. The border's completely open. Here's another issue you're going to have. Well, they're going to have. Ladies and gentlemen, Biden has a record right now to run on. Biden, don't assume, because you all are very smart. Now, all of you are, you watch political podcasts, you follow the news. You wouldn't be here if you didn't follow politics. I'm not going to, pat myself on, you're smart because you watch my show. You're smart because you watch any political show. You're interested in the issue. It's not a sports show. It's not a movie review show. We cover stuff that matters to everyday people's lives, and you're here. But sometimes, and I don't mean this as an insult, please, I would never do that. Sometimes that actually puts you in a little ideological box that it's hard to get out. Because we assume, everybody knew Joe Biden when they voted for him in 2020. No, ladies and gentlemen, everybody didn't know Joe Biden. Go on the street and ask 10 people who George H.W. Bush's vice president was. I guarantee you, 9 of them have no idea. You knew Joe Biden. He was an open book. He was seen as the avuncular, kind of like happy, gentle old guy next door who was going to guide the country back from the chaos, whatever, of the Trump years. He was a respected senior member of the Senate. A lot of people are like, yeah, I remember him from being around Obama. World leaders respect him. He even said it himself. Listen to this video, Hat Tip Mays Moore. Listen to this video himself. It's about 10, 15 seconds of Biden saying the same thing. I can get in there on day one and people respect me. Remember, the most damaging political narratives in the world are those that change your pre-existing notion of who someone is. People thought this guy was a seriously respected guy. Here, watch this.
We need someone to take office this time around, who on day one can stand on the world stage, command the respect of world leaders from Putin to our allies.
Folks, people believe that. Again, you knew this guy was a tool because you're the elites when it comes to political knowledge. You are. So few people follow this stuff like you do, watch these types of shows with him and me, Charlie and others. Then you knew Biden was a tool. There are people who thought that. Senior statesmen, look at this guy, he's been around, a senator, a VP. However, what happened? Because of all of your work, you did it. Because of all of your work, you wound up telling the truth to America about this guy. His corruption, his weakness. They saw Afghanistan. They saw what's going on in Haiti. They see China bossing this guy around. And now look at this in the Hill. You want to talk about a destructive narrative being decimated in real time. 37% say Biden is respected by world leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what the destruction of political narrative lifetime looks like. You did that. You did that. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to get to this CIA story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is massive. I'm going to tell you, in my decade plus as an agent with the United States Secret Service, I have never once on U.S. soil used Central Intelligence Agency assets for anything. If this text record Judicial Watch got a hold of an email is accurate that CIA assets were at that bomb site, then ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a really serious problem. Stay tuned, I'm going to get that next night. I don't tease stuff, I just want to give it some time, and this election is really important to me, and we had to cover the conspiracy theory because it's already true. Folks, I needed this last night, Beans Green Powder. If you're having trouble sleeping or staying asleep, it's time to embrace the importance of a restful slumber. You tried other supplements and not had a lot of success. Well, try this product. I use it as Bean Green Powder. The hot cocoa for sleep that could transform your nights like a kid. I've always had a really hard time sleeping. Matter of fact, last night, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But if you know me, Beam is, and the green powder's been a game changer. We got a special discount for you today on Beam's green powder. It's their science-backed hot cocoa. No better sleep has never tasted better. Those other sleep aids can cause some natural grogginess, but green contains powerful all-natural reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin to help you fall asleep, to help you stay asleep, and to help you wake up feeling refreshed. Just mix Beam's green powder in hot water or milk and enjoy before bedtime. If you want to try Beam's best-selling green powder, get up to 40% off with big savings for a limited time. When you go to shopbeam.com/Bongino and use code Bongino at checkout, that's shopbeam.com/Bongino and use code Bongino for up to 40% off. Check it out. You get some good, restful sleep. Okay, back to the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's happened. I've been discussing with you all and sharing with you all for a long time because I don't do conspiracy theories and I don't jump out. They had a story. I told you that the January 6th incident at DNC, you know there were two incidents. There's the so-called, what they call an insurrection at the Capitol. And then there was this incident. I'm sorry to keep repeating this. I know many of you have heard it 1,000 times, but we get so many new viewers every day. It's important to just backtrack a little bit, so my apologies. There was another incident on January 6th. Kamala Harris was at the DNC. Kamala Harris, for some bizarre reason, was not at the Capitol when the so-called insurrection went down. Kamala Harris was at the DNC. She was at the DNC just blocks away. I'll show you a map coming up in a minute. You see how close it is. Why she was at the DNC, nobody knows. They found a bomb outside of the DNC. Folks, the bomb apparently was largely inert, although the FBI told us otherwise. Now, why an attempted assassination plot on Kamala Harris could be hidden by the mainstream media has perplexed a lot of people for a long time. I have a theory on this based on a lot of background knowledge, and I'm reasonably confident I'm correct. In fact, this was a setup. This was the same blob, deep state, whoever it was, anti-Trump operator. Somebody planted those explosives in case the insurrection at the Capitol didn't happen. They could say, look, they tried to assassinate the vice president. And now they're trying to make the story go away because the, quote, insurrection they wanted happened. Very careful with my language. This is a major bombshell in the case. Judicial Watch, which does amazing work, hat tip to Tom Fitton and the crew. Look at this. This is bananas. Did you see this? Records show the CIA deployed bomb techs and dog teams to D.C. on January 6th. Really? Let me read to you. The BATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, they have reports, including a series of text messages under the heading January 7th Intel Chase, in which two separate references to participation by the CIA. One states, quote, 2 CIA bomb techs are assisting with a pipe bomb scene on New Jersey and D Street Southeast. Now, I know DC well, folks. I'm going to show you where that is in a second. Another references several CIA dog teams on standby. Folks, I've done these protection sites often, where Kamala Harris and other Secret Service protectees are. I've used local EOD and K9 teams. EOD are explosive ordnance disposal teams. They're bomb tanks, just in regular, normal ones. I've used locals, meaning DC Metro, and if you're in New Mexico, Alamogordo, whatever. You can lose locals at times, depending on who the protectee is. I've used military bomb tech, even state police, bomb techs and dogs and things like that, other protectees. I have never, in 12 years of doing protection science, ever used CIA assets. Ever. Let me show you a little map about where New Jersey and D Street Southeast is. See the Capitol right there on the top? See it at the top of that little picture? There's the U.S. Capitol. I dropped a little pin for you right there. Oh, look at that, the Capitol Hill Club, where one of the other bombs were found. And look, the DNC is right there, right next to it. E Street, New Jersey Avenue, South. So weird how they were right there, ready to respond to that bomb scene. So strange. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only the biggest political scandal of our time. Are those text messages accurate? No, because I'm always fair with my analysis, and I never want to jump the gun on anything. There's a small possibility that they could have misinterpreted that. Maybe they weren't CIA. Believe that. I'm just to be fair and not jump the gun. There's always a possibility. But I'm telling you for a fact, I have never, having worked inauguration, campaign details, presidential assignments, and lower-level detective assignments in my entire life, used CIA explosive assets ever. And they're magically located a block away from the DNC where they find a pipe bomb that no one wants to talk about, while Kamala Harris is mysteriously inside the building, and while the Secret Service text messages and emails from that day mysteriously disappeared because they allegedly changed devices that day. Wow, it's quite the day to change out everybody's device. Want me to make the story even weirder for you? There was a hearing the other day on the January 6th pipe bomb. And ordinarily, I tell you how much Democrats lie and deceive, and they do. I don't think this Democrat representative, her name is Torres, is lying at all. So I'm serious as a heart attack. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this scandal is so big, I don't even think a lot of Democrats in Congress know about it. I want to play this for you right here. This is the Democrat rep, her name is Torres. She's shown me pipe bombing videos and evacuation stuff, and she seems to be shocked by this. This is the first time they saw it. Let me tell you something. I don't think she's kidding. Watch this.
Well, this information these videos that you have played are news to the minority.
She's the ranking member, folks. I don't think she's kidding. I think this scandal is so big. Some member of the bloc plotted an assassination plot, fake one, to set up the MAGA crowd, that I don't even believe they read in some of the Democrats. She probably's never seen that video. Well, this is the biggest scandal in politics right now. You can ignore it all you want. But until you can explain to me what the hell CIA explosive detection asset, we're doing just a block away from this alleged assassination plot, you can explain it to me with a straight face, I'm pretty convinced I'll be accepted. Let me take my last break here. Folks, there's this speech I heard. Listen, this isn't a motivational show. Okay, I'm not Tony Robbins. I love that stuff, and I listen to it a lot myself. I do, but that's not this show, okay? But once in a while I hear something that blows me away, impacts me so deeply. And I believe God wanted me to find this last night, because I found it before I found out it was new. And I want to play this for you, and I'll play it for you the other side of the break. It hit me hard. I think it'll hit you hard too, because it's true. My last break. Show. Time is our most precious commodity. Sure is. And I've heard from so many of my listeners who've asked about my advice, how they can spend time wisely to improve themselves and the people around them. That's why I'm really excited Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses in the most important and enduring subjects. You can learn about the works of C.S. Lewis, the stories in the book of Genesis, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution. These courses, folks, are really, really good. Highly recommended. The Constitution course, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, the history of the ancient Christian Church, with Hillsdale College's online courses, all available for free. That's right, for free. I personally recommend signing up to try the Constitution course, also the American Citizenship and its Decline, with Victor Davis Hanson, who you know I love. Amazing. In this 8-lecture course, EDH explores the history of citizenship and the lasting threats of it. Threats like the erosion of the middle class, the disappearance of borders, and the growth of the unaccountable deep state. And with the rise of globalist organizations, the course is self-paced. Start, stop, whatever you want. Start your free course. American Citizenship and Its Decline with Victor Davis Hanson Head. Go now to hillsdale.edu/Bongino to start. It's free and it's easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu/Bongino to start. Hillsdale.edu/Bongino. Our last sponsor, I appreciate it, Gen 90. Folks, whether you have 3 minutes in the morning or 30 minutes, keep your face wrinkle free. Introducing Gen 90, a new instant wrinkle treatment from Genucel Skincare. Gen 90 can instantly help reduce the appearance of wrinkles anywhere you use it. Around the eyes, forehead, crow's feet, laugh lines, and it can start working in a second. Never worry about your skin or your confidence. Gen 90 technology is luxurious, nourishing, and silky smooth, and best of all is it can start in just a second. I know, Paula uses it, she loves it. There's a reason why Genucel Skincare is 400% the customer loyalty of other skincare brands. And now you can also get Genucel XV. The collagen building moisturizer with vitamin C and hyaluronic acid for pure natural for stunning results day after day. Gen 90 and XV are on special sale right now at genucel.com/Dan and included in the bestseller package. It's the best value in skincare. Before going overseas, get those harsh procedures, try Gen 90 first. It works. Make your fine lines and wrinkles disappear wherever they are before you even need to look. Order now at genucel.com/Dan. Get a free beauty box and deep firming serum while supplies plus free shipping. GENUCL. Genucel.com/Dan. Genucel.com/Dan. Okay. Listen, I'm not I'm not some motivational speaker. I'm not. You all have far more life experience, many of you, than me, and you've been through your own suffering. But sometimes people do ask me for advice. How did you get me? Why they'd ask me, I don't know. I appreciate it. I'm flattered. I don't think I'm the best source of anybody's life guidance, but if you're going to ask, I'll tell you. And one of the things is the value of suffering. I mean, the actual value of suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, suffering's a gift. And when you embrace that, you understand that, it'll change your entire life. When you see suffering as a threat, you become a victim. You become helpless in this sea of suffering, and there's no way for you to fight back because you don't think you can fight back because you think, woe is me. Look at all of the death and destruction around me. There's nothing I can do to change the world. I have no ability whatsoever to use my gifts to make the world a different place. But when you suffer, you embrace the value of suffering. And you see that there's a lesson to be learned from each failure and death. When you see that, the world changes for you, your eyes open. You know, you ever read the book The Natural? It's a movie, of course, the baseball movie, but it's a really deep book. The book is amazing. It's written by Bernard Malamud. And I use this quote often in my show because it's a quote that'll change your life. You understand? Roy Hobbs is this, broken baseball player who's supposed to be the next big thing. And his childhood friend says to him, Roy, we all live two lives. The one we learn from, and then the one we live after that. When you learn to embrace the value of suffering, and to take it on head on, change your entire life. You're about to hear a guy's name is Jensen Huang. He's the CEO of NVIDIA. It's, I think, $1 trillion company now that the chips behind AI. You don't have to like this guy or not. It doesn't matter. He did this. And he did a segment on this at a lecture he was doing in college. And I want you to listen. It's about 1:20. I want you to listen to everything he says. Because what he says is absolutely 100% correct.
One of my great advantages is that I have very low expectations, and I mean that. Most of the Stanford graduates have very high expectations. You deserve to have high expectations because you came from a great school. You were very successful. You're top of your class. Obviously, you were able to pay for tuition, and then you're graduating from one of the finest institutions on the planet. You're surrounded by other kids that are just incredible. You naturally have very high expectations. People with very high expectations have very low resilience. And unfortunately, resilience matters in success. I don't know how to teach it to you except that I hope stuff will happen. And I was fortunate that I grew up with my parents providing me with conditions to be successful. On the one hand, it was like there were plenty of opportunities. And to this day, I use the phrase pain and suffering inside of a company with great glee. And the reason, and I mean that, boy, this is going to cause a lot of pain and suffering. And I mean that in a happy way, because you want to train, you want to refine the character of your company. You want greatness out of it. And greatness is not intelligence. Greatness comes from character. Character isn't formed by the smart people. It's formed by the people who suffer. And so that's it. And so if I could wish upon you, I don't know how to do it. For all of you Stanford students, I wish upon you ample doses of pain and suffering.
Wish upon you, myself. That guy said 100% accurate. You're going to be defined by how you overcome suffering. That's inevitable. It's a human condition. Not by avoiding it, not by becoming a victim of it. Folks, I'm going to end the show early today. I'll tell you what happened last night because I'm having a bit. I'm going to try to get through this, all right? So, my mom died last night. Unexpected. She, fell down a flight of stairs. And, I found out early this morning. And the weirdest thing is, as my team can attest to, that this clip is not in the show because of that. I sent it yesterday. In this exact spot. Give me a sec. So I found out at about 4:43 in the morning. Why would I give you an exact time? Because I got up to look at my phone. Because I wanted to call Paula because something really strange happened. Paula and I are never separate. Sometimes on the road we're separate, but I'm never home alone, ever. But because it's spring break, Paula took my youngest daughter down to Miami to live in a girls' stay. I was working back here in the studio. So last night's the first time I was alone in my house in a long time. My mother, for those of you who don't believe in God, I'm not here to judge you. Please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not your judge and jury. But I want to tell you something. I want to tell you in advance, I'm not crazy, okay? I'm not crazy. So I got up to call Paula because my mother was pronounced dead around 3 a.m. in the morning. Be patient. And I was going to call Paula because I said I wanted to tell her that something really weird had happened. And I looked at my phone and I saw I had a text. I turned it off, do not disturb. And I noticed I had a text at 2:49. It was from a woman who lives in this apartment building, this building that my mom lives in, to tell me that she said, Dan, it's Teresa, I need you to call me. And it's 2:49 a.m. when she sent the text. But I was going to call Paula to tell her about this weird experience I'd had at 3 a.m. So at 3 a.m. in the morning, someone grabbed me, like hugged me, like a mom. Folks, I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. I had gotten up. As I always talk about, I'm not the greatest sleeper in the world, so I go to sleep early, like 8 o'clock, so I typically wake up around 3, and it's hard for me to go back to sleep. Usually takes about an hour. So it was 3 o'clock, and I got up, and I was really dehydrated, so I went to the kitchen. Again, I'm by myself, it's just a dog there. And I went to go get some water, so I'm up. I'm not in some dream state. I don't sleep well. And I had propped a pillow, 2 pillows up behind my head, and I was just breathing to try to relax and go back to sleep. And I turned over this way, and someone grabbed me. Real. I'm telling you, it was real. I actually jumped up. I know it sounds crazy, but I was looking for my gun. And I started looking around the house, and I thought, you know, he has a key to my house. I thought the weirdest thing. I thought, like, did he have some fight or sneak in my house? Like, what the hell would he grab me for? The weird things you start thinking about. Then I thought, did Paula come home early and not tell me? Is she playing a game with me? Because she never wakes me up at night. Then I thought, did my other daughter come home from college? Did she not tell me? Someone grabbed me last night, right as my mom was pronounced dead. Folks, I'm telling you, if you don't believe in God, you have to. I would after last night. I was not imagining that. I was not in some fugue state. I was not dreaming. I felt someone grab me, actually grab me. I looked around my entire house. You know me, you know I'm not answering. Her name was Judy, and we had a troubled relationship. Details aren't important. But Paul and I were talking this morning, and the strangest thing happened a week ago, too. A lot of times my mom would, I call my mom, you know, once a week, and we would chat about stuff. And she would say, you know, I love you, Danny. She called me Danny. The only, no one else on planet Earth besides my mom calls me Danny. Now no one else does at all. And she'd say, I love you, Danny. And Paul used to say, why don't you say it back? And this was hard, that's all. But we spoke about a week ago. And I had put her on speaker, my mom. Because Paul and I were doing something. We were running a little test to see what would happen if we said something. So I put her on speaker. And my mom never complained to me, never. And she was getting ready to hang up. She said, love you, Danny. And I said, love you too. Paula kind of looked at me. Good thing. And you're free to believe whatever you want. As I sat this morning, in the shower, hunched over, kind of crying a little bit, I've never believed Lauren proud of me. I think he knew that book was about to close. I wanted those to be the last words.